Kohberger had a propensity for bloody up close murder, and that has not yet been proved. He still may have needed like a trigger, something to set him off, like maybe a personal crisis, maybe a loss, something that might have made him lash out. Maybe like losing a job, like losing his job as a teaching assistant at Washington State University.
What's up, guys? We're starting this one off with the grandfather of all bombs. Right. Okay, so this was from yesterday. Kohberger termination letter from WSU. So NewsNation's got it. Well, we're about to read it. Let's see. So yeah, I'm sure he got this, or I think they just said he got this right before the murders, right?
And then with that, losing your funding for the doctoral studies program you're in the school, because it appears right now that that's what happened. We now have sources with direct knowledge of the termination letter that was sent to Bryan Kohberger. And tonight I want to read the letter to you in full. The letter is dated December the 19th, 2022. It starts this way.
The letter is dated December...
Mr. Kohberger, I am writing this letter to formally inform you of the termination of your teaching assistantship with the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology.
Okay, yeah, so real quick, he got this December 19th, 2022. The killings were on November 13th.
Effective December 31st, 2022. In keeping with the WSU Graduate Student Handbook, chapters 9G2, remember that?
So he probably knew this beforehand. That's what I'm thinking. You know, this was the official letter.
And 12E3, remember that? Below is the list of events that led to you being deficient on the following contingency clause of your funding. Quote, maintaining satisfactory progress in fulfilling assistantship service requirements and duties. On September 23rd, 2022, you had an altercation with the faculty you support as a TA, Professor Snyder. I met with you on October 3rd to discuss norms of professional behavior.
Yeah, so this was on September. He might have knew this was coming by then. And there's another incident, looks like, here in October.
On October 21st, Professor Snyder emailed you about the ways in which you had failed to meet your expectations as a TA thus far in the semester. As a result, on November 2, Graduate Director Willits and I met with you to discuss an improvement plan, which you agreed to, and I shared with you in an email dated November 3rd. We met again December 7th, this time with a professor, Professor Snyder.
So they met before the killings, and then they met after the killings, unknown to them.
As well as Dr. Willits and I, to discuss your progress on the improvement plan. While not perfect, we agreed there was progress. On December 9th, there was another altercation with Professor Snyder, in which it became apparent that you had not made progress regarding professionalism, and about which I wrote to you on December 11th, requesting a meeting. We met on December 19th, when I informed you of your termination as a TA for spring semester. So there's that. And we dug into the WSU Undergraduate Student Handbook, and we learned something, that those two chapters, 9G2 to start with, that is the protocol for termination mid-semester or before the end of a period stipulated in a current offer letter. And that other one, 12E3, covers graduate and professional student complaint and grievance procedures. All very interesting.
So somebody must have filed a complaint or grievance against them too.
Joining me now, Jennifer Coffendoffer. She's a former FBI special agent. She's been following this case.
How about that for a boom?
Since the beginning. Jennifer, I'm so fascinated by the dating on this. Now, we don't know who the author of the letter is. We heard certain names that were quoted in that letter. We don't know who wrote the letter. It just refers to it as I. But the dates on it are, significant, because we knew that he knew he had a meeting coming up on January 19th. He could have been doing that by Zoom as he was crossing the country. But it almost sounded like he didn't see this coming. He didn't see the firing coming.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, certainly by these dates, though, he knows there is something going awry with his position and would certainly be concerned if these allegations are true. And I agree with you that this would be something that could trigger. It would not answer why he did this, but it would explain why he chose the time to do this. Losing a job, potentially losing your income, the embarrassment of losing your position, maybe even having your dream of being a PhD in jeopardy. These would all be triggering factors to propel you into doing something this heinous, combined with his true reasoning from deep inside himself.
So what's extraordinary is the screenshot that you have come across.
Maybe it all bubbled over, after he lost his job. Maybe he just said, fuck it.
From a source, a student of Bryan Kohberger's. It's a screenshot of correspondence that she had with him, and specifically a statement that he wrote to her. And here it is. I'm putting it up on the screen. This is Jennifer's reporting. She said, this student is written to. Kohberger says on December 16th, I'm glad that this course has given you a more nuanced perspective pertaining to CJ, as criminal justice. Have a great break. Again, this is December 16th. He's going to be canned 3 days later. He's in the process, of being canned. But it truly does seem that he's, carrying on the work of being a TA, even as he's left. He's already in Pennsylvania by this point. I guess he's working from home at Mom and Dad's house.
Yes, it would seem so. And, typically someone with a narcissistic personality doesn't.
We received a response from WSU about this termination letter and all the reporting that we've been doing. And WSU cited a whole bunch of federal law saying they can't, release a lot of employment records, but they did say this. This is what the statement that she got was. In part, Mr. Kohberger does not currently have a teaching assistantship, and he is not currently enrolled in WSU. What do you make of that?
I make of it, they want to distance themselves. They want to be done with Kohberger, and that's it for Kohberger there, anywhere.
Well, it was certainly ambiguous. They did not want to say anything that would have been against the policies and procedures of release of information. But I did find this interesting. Recall when the search warrant was returned on his office. I thought it very surprising that not one thing was gleaned from that office. Not a computer, not any paperwork, not any doodling, nothing from that office. And this possibly could explain why.
It's fascinating.
Oh, all right, guys. Hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button. If you didn't, don't hit the like button, right? And then hit that subscribe button, right? It's free. And until next time, True Crime King, out.